Welcome, everyone, to today's episode of Empowering You TV. I'm so excited that you're here with us today. My name is Amy Hutton. I'm your host for this show. I'm now in Calgary, Alberta, but I grew up in Pickering, Ontario, about 20 minutes east of Toronto. Each episode, you will hear remarkable stories of women who've beaten the odds, risen above all challenges, and now living their amazing lives full on like the brave, empowered women they were born to be. For more information, to be featured on the Empowering You TV show, please reach out to me at amy@inchbyinchempowerment.com. I am booking through the remainder of October into the end of the year, so let's get you on the show. For today's show, I am so excited to introduce you to my friend Sam Bell. She and I met at a speakers workshop about a year ago, and we had lots of fun. We've stayed connected, and I'm so excited how her journey is unfolding, and we'll get into that later. But let me just tell you a snapshot of her story. Founder, creator, owner-operator of Mamiyata's Journey and the Joy Program, Sam Bell is a registered nurse, midwife, teacher, and integrative health and empowerment coach, a public speaker, MC, and a published writer. She's a spiritual advisor and intuitive holding certifications as a certified angel empowerment practitioner, certified angel empowerment hands-on healing practitioner, UC Reiki master, certified higher priestess practitioner, Desire Map Workshop, and Fire Starter Sessions facilitator. And she's just amazing, and she'll tell you all about her and all that jazz. And also to let you know that her passion is to empower individuals to make change in their lives that will bring them optimal health and happiness. A change agent, she empowers her clients to explore their inner self to enable connection with the core feelings they have buried deep within. Hello, Sam. How are you?
I can follow that. She sounds bloody wonderful.
Well, that's you.
How are you, Amy?
I'm good. I'm good. So I know where you are in the world, but how about you tell us where you are?
I'm in Canada. I've come all the way from the UK, as you can tell from the accent. I lived in Spain, and I am now in... Not only am I in a beautiful place in Canada, but I'm just very, very happy. I'm in a very happy place. Finally found my joy, Amy.
Good. I'm glad. That makes me happy. So I know a bit about your story, but if you want to share with us, what in your life have you overcome? And share briefly with us your story.
So I suppose what's interesting is, as I was growing up, I didn't really know what I was actually going through and what I was actually facing. It was only when my marriage came to an end, and that was only 7 years ago, that I realized just how I had been existing and how I was allowing the wounds that had occurred to be shaping me as a person in this life. My mother is a narcissist, so I'm daughter of a narcissistic mother. I grew up in an environment where there was a lot of emotional abuse, gaslighting, etc. Didn't really know who or what I was, always trying to please, trying to be something that I thought I should be, trying to fit into somebody else's idea of being perfect. And this, in turn, gave me social anxiety disorder. As a young gal and a teenager, well into my early 20s, I could never have done anything like this, let alone stand on stage like I do now and talk my talk. But just something as simple as going out with a group of people to a bar, a pub. I would have to find out where the bathrooms were and stay there for a good 15, 20 minutes to get myself together to be able to face people. It was crippling. Far easier just to stay at home and shut myself away. This also then, in a way of trying to overcome that social anxiety, I threw myself into my career And being a nurse, sometimes you feel like you are on stage, no matter what's happened, you leave it at the door and you walk into the ward, into the unit, and you put a brave face on for your patient. So I started to learn how I could actually cope with my social anxiety. But then this presented me with difficulties socially when I was trying to be something that I wasn't. And I ended up exposing myself to a very dangerous situation, which was date raped. And even then, that was something that was pushed underneath the carpet and not spoken about. I dealt with it on my own. As I say, it was only 7 years ago that I finally sought some help and started my journey to healing from, a pretty disastrous place that I'd found myself in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot to overcome as a young girl, and then growing up and what happened to you when you were working in the hospital. And because I got to hear you speak last weekend, so you explained what gaslighting is, but maybe some people don't know what that is. So how about you explain a bit about that?
So gaslighting, that comes from the movie. It's been coined a phrase from the movie of the same name. And basically it means that a person, usually the abuser and very often the narcissist, will actually tell their victim that they have done something or that they are something. And so many times that eventually the victim actually believes it. Yeah, I am this, I am that, I am bad, so that is gaslighting. And it can even be in situations where you would be accused of doing something or saying something, and you're there and you're thinking, did I say that? I don't remember saying that, but they say that I said it, so I must have done. Oh my goodness, I'm going mad because I didn't remember even saying it. So you're just basically walking on a line. It's not in a reality. It's not unreality. You're just lost in nowhere's land. Place to be. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that helps clarify for to remember myself, but then for other people watching that, like, wait a second, what's gaslighting? So that's cool. So Sam, is there anything in your life that you've experienced throughout growing up years and stuff that happened to you that you would change, or would you do differently, or anything like that? And if so, why? And if why not? That's cool too, but why not?
I'm a great believer that we come into this life to learn lessons, and I don't think that anything that has happened to me was not meant to have happened to me. The only thing that, if there is a regret that I have, is the breakdown of my marriage. And I'm very open about that, even though I'm in a beautiful relationship now. He also knows that my biggest regret was that 7 years ago, my marriage came to an end. And then I started to do the work on myself. And had I have done that work previously, I would still be married. I've been married to that man for 21 years. And, that I would say is probably my regret. Then had it not have happened, would I have done the work? So it's all meant to be.
Yeah, totally. Now, I don't know if I've ever asked you this or if I've heard your answer to this, but Sam, what is your why? Why do you do what you do today?
I am amazed at the transformation in myself. Over the last 7 years, I have become so full of joy, so happy, so determined, so confident, passionate, innovative. All the things that I respected in other people, I am actually that. And I've discovered the real true me. And I want other people to be able to do exactly the same. I want to empower others to discover their true, authentic self and live their lives with that passion and that innovation. We are amazing human beings. We're amazing spiritual beings. And unfortunately, when we're on this human journey, very often a human life ends up shrouding us, and we don't shine the light that we're supposed to. So that's my why: help others to shine their light.
Awesome. That's a beautiful one. And I'm pretty sure this goes into what your business is about. So How about you share with us, because I rambled off all your certifications, but I'm guessing they all kind of come into one thing. So what's your business about and what do you do?
They do. There's a very long list there, and there's a reason for that. 7 years of healing. I was like a rabbit in the headlights. I ran in one direction. I chased this modality. This was going to give me all the answers. Didn't quite give me all the answers. So then I went over somewhere else and I became a habitual certificate collector. But you know, they're all now tools that I have not only used for myself, for my own healing. I can now use those tools to empower other individuals that come to me for help. I'm an integrative health coach, so that means that I use my clinical academia, my clinical nursing skills to work with the physical, the emotional. There's the social side of it as well, and obviously I've done a lot of spiritual learning. So now I can make sure that I can address the whole person in a holistic way.
Nice. That's awesome. We'll get into more about that. I know you have something really cool that you just started, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, do you have any testimonials or a story of one of your clients who's changed from working with you, or who's someone you've helped and they've given you permission to share a story?
I have. I've actually been collecting them recently, and I love this one because it really resonated with me. It says that Sam has a passion for helping and inspiring others that burns brighter than the sun. Once you hear her speak, this will make perfect sense. I just love that. I love that.
Awesome.
And I think that's one of the biggest things. Nearly every testimonial that I have, they always say that I smile. And, you know, I do. I always smile. I smile wherever I go. And there was a time where I couldn't smile. I couldn't smile because I was frightened of my teeth showing, and that I genuinely thought that I was ugly and that, you know, I was better to sort of hide away. So for me to actually go out sometimes with no makeup on and just smile, it's quite empowering for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I know growing up in going to Girl Guides and such, one of the Girl Guide laws that I think is still in place is smile and sing even under difficulty. And I know that helped me and still helps me today. It's like, okay, take a deep breath and, you know, on that happy face and go out into the world. And yeah, life may be sucky and going backwards and whatever, but as long as I continue to go forward with that happy face and smile and you know, sing and dance, then, you know, life is going to go okay. Speaking of being empowered, Sam, how do you stay empowered in your life?
People. I just love people. I love that contact with people. I find that they always inspire me. You know, behind that face that you see, there's always a story. And when you hear those stories, it's humbling and inspiring. And that inspiration, that's empowering to me. So yeah, how do I keep myself empowered? People, yeah, and their journeys, and loving their journeys.
Ah, that's awesome. Now, what is a book, a movie, a song, one or all of the above, that empowers you to keep going in your own life?
I can honestly say that there isn't one. There really isn't. I'm very, very much a bookworm. I love all the English classics. Poetry is another thing. I love Leonard Cohen songs. I love Stevie Nicks songs. I've got such a very diverse taste in music, even Pink Floyd. But it depends on whatever mood I'm in, you know, and sometimes there'll be a lyric or in a song or a line in a poem or in a book that I'll go, oh, and so it takes on a new meaning for me because it's relative to that moment. So I think really just to keep yourself open to that stimulation is one of the best things that we can all do. You know, there's so much out there, and somebody's taken the time to write it down on pages, or to learn those lines and have it there up on stage. It's worth listening to, and one day it'll touch you, one day it may not, but just be into it all.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Different books, and I relate different songs and different these are different quotes. It kind of cycles through a little bit, though. I know I do have a couple of like core ones, and one of the quotes that I like the best by Dr. Seuss is, "Why fit in when you're born to stand out?" And that's about being yourself. And that's one of my core things, is be yourself. Now, thinking of our viewers, Sam, what is one simple step that our viewers can do to empower themselves?
So I made myself a promise when I embarked upon my journey and realized I was on my journey. I promised myself that if a door opened, I'd have the courage to walk through it. And I couldn't believe how many more doors that opened for me, and how many new people I met once I walked through those doors. So it really is just having the courage. If a door opens, walk through it.
Yeah, may have to take a breath or a centering breath, but then walk through.
Just have the courage, you know, because very often these are opportunities that are presented to us, and they'll keep presenting. They will keep presenting, but sometimes we don't actually notice them until it's too late. You think, dang, you know, I wish I'd done that. Worst thing you can have is regret, you know. So take the door opens, even if it's opening just a crack and you really want it, push it open.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Sam, what is one message you want to tell the next generation of girls about empowering themselves? So, for example, if you could go back in time and tell your 11-year-old self something, what would that be? And maybe why?
Trust your gut feelings. Trust your gut feeling. You know, there were many times when I felt things, and you know, and I pushed them away, thinking it was just me being a silly girl, you know, or that drama queen that I was always being told that I was. You know, I pushed those feelings down. That my intuition was shrouded, and it ended up getting me into a whole heap of trouble in my early adulthood. So trust your intuition, trust those gut feelings. They're never as strong as they are as when we're a child, you know, and find somebody safe who you feel your gut tells you you're safe to tell them those feelings, you know, share them. It's a big thing, but, you know, Mother Nature has equipped us with the ability to do that. You know, it's life that takes that away from us. So the younger we are, and the work that you do is so beautiful, because you're capturing, you know, human beings at their essence, these young girls at their essence. And wouldn't it be beautiful if that beautiful intuition and those feelings and values could actually continue through their life? Sure. Wouldn't it? We would be pretty amazing beings. We wouldn't have to do all the work on ourselves that I now deem to do for other people.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Who is someone you want to thank, who inspires you to be your best self, who's helped you when going through a difficult time? If you could write a thank you card to that person, what would it say, and who is that person?
Again, there are so many different people. There's two people that come to mind. So I'm going to take advantage of telling you two little stories. The one is a lady who was a patient in a hospice. I was being interviewed for a job as a hospice manager a few moons ago, and I was standing in the reception hall and the reception desk was in front of me, and then down this side of the corridor there seemed to be offices, and then down this side of the corridor there was a patient's lounge and lots of music and a piano playing. And I was sort of like looking down there, and I was a little bit surprised that there was all this frivolity going on. And so the receptionist said, "It's the patient's lounge, pop down if you want." So I trundled down and sort of peeked in through the door, and this lady comes and opens the door and she says, "Oh, hello, you must be here for an interview." And I said, "Is it that obvious?" She said, "Oh, you've all got that scared rabbit look on your face." She says, "Come on in." She said, "You look all surprised." And I said, "Well, I am rather feeling a little bit uncomfortable." And she says, "Do you know what, love?" She said, "Sometimes being told that you're dying is a gift. You start living. Not existing like you lot are." And that was so powerful, and it stayed with me. But you know, it's only in recent years that I've really taken notice of it. So that lady, and I know her name, and I got to know her over the next 3 years at the hospice. I got the job, and yeah, she was very, very inspirational. Never a truer word. And then the other is my boy, my baby boy, my boy Ben. Mama Eater's journey started out for him. It was never meant to be a business. It was a blog, and it will eventually be a book. It was to explain to him why I was as batshit crazy as I am, and why I'd chosen to remove him from my family. So he's been my inspiration, and you know, I only have to look at him and he keeps me on the straight and narrow. He is very, very inspiring.
Nice. Nice. Yay. Sam, what is something, what's coming up that our viewers should know about? So I know you have the Joy Initiative.
Yes.
Of course. So tell us about that.
So Joy is basically, for 7 years, as I said, I was pretty much overwhelmed with all these different modalities that I'd been studying, and realized that there was tended to be something to take out of all of them, but there was an underlying message no matter what modality I chose. I also, the work that I was doing for myself, I started to realize that clients that were coming to me, I was relating my own experiences and my own healing journey to help them. And it dawned on me with one client at the beginning of the year that, you know, this is what I need to be doing. Instead of getting confused, trying to do one modality and treat with another and, you know, call it this, I just need to do what comes naturally to me. And that's when I started to develop the Joy program. And I realized that Mama Eater's journey is my journey. That was my healing and emerging from broken. And Joy is journey of you. So this is your journey and your healing. So that's what I've just launched. So it's an online program, and I've just launched the beta. I've got to be careful to say beta, not beta. The beta program. And we're already over 50% subscribed. So I'm absolutely thrilled about that.
Nice. Yes. Yay. And that's awesome. That's really cool. And I know you have a couple other things that go on top of that. So tell me about Women Talk.
Women Talk is, I'm MC for Women Talk down in Okotoks. Women Talk is a TEDx kind of forum where ordinary women take to the stage. They stand behind that mic and they share their stories, which are 9 times out of 10 pretty damned extraordinary. It really is a safe place for women to develop their speaking skills. And every woman that is in that room and listens goes home with some level of healing, inspiration. It is pretty amazing. It's a movement in itself.
Yeah. And when's the, do you have events still for October, or we passed it?
We have our next Women Talk in Okotoks is, I think it's next Tuesday, 3rd Tuesday of the month. Yes, I couldn't tell you what date that is, sorry, but we're the 3rd Tuesday every month down in Okotoks. So
yeah. That's cool. And they can go to womentalk.ca for that
Absolutely.
information. Yeah. And the other thing I know you do, something about bats.
Okay, bats in the belfry.
That's it.
So this is the Sacred Women Circle. This started out it would be about 5 years ago. When I was starting to heal, I was amazed how women in my community came forward to support and to help me. I mean, you have to think that I was in a new country and I was a single mom and new job, pretty overwhelmed. And I started to read about women's circles and how gatherings of women over the centuries have empowered and built one another up. And this also is very much in speaking with the divine feminine. And I decided, hey, I'm going to give something back to my community, and I'm going to start a women's circle. So the first few that we had were in the basement of my home, and they grew very rapidly, as they're apt to do. And suddenly realized there were pregnant women, perimenopausal women, menopausal women, teenagers with hormones. We were just like bats in the belfry. So everybody was scatty, and we just nicknamed ourselves the bats. And it stuck. It stuck as exactly that. But we now have them in Okotoks on the first Wednesday of every month. We have them in Bonavista on the third Wednesday of every month. And the fourth Wednesday of every month, we have them in Mardeloup. So they're actually growing.
Yeah.
They're not for profit. I do charge a donation. And then that money goes to Gems for Gems, which is our local charity of choice. And also we're in Okotoks to the food bank as well. So we do food bank drives. So it really is women in the community supporting each other and giving back.
That's cool.
That's
really cool. Yeah, that's neat. I have yet to make it to one, but now that you have one in Mardeloup, I don't think it conflicts with any other thing I have going on.
I think that's on the 18th of October. At Josette's Gallery. We're launching.
Oh, Josette, no, the 18th, because Women Talk Calgary is that night. So we'll just I don't know. Anyway, I will make it eventually 1 point to the one at Mardeloup when it works.
So be a bat.
Sam, what's next for you? Or what's another intention that you've set for yourself?
Well, I did mention that book. The whole journey started out with a blog. And the idea of the blog was to collect all of the material, the content for a book. I now have it in so many different places. And I was talking to a lady last weekend, and it was sort of like, okay, I really need to get my act together and put this out as a book. So Mama Eater's Journey, the book, should be hitting the bookstores in 10 years' time, maybe.
If you're talking to the same friend who I have, I think she'll have you do it faster than 10 years
I think she probably will. I think she'll kick me up the bum. Yes, I know.
Yes. Now, since you have so many things out there in the world, how can they contact you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
So the best thing is either by the website, which is mamaeatersjourney.com, or via email. I'm very good at answering email, which is sam@mamaeatersjourney.com. And I know that you're going to put it up there so they can spell it.
Yes, I will put it there so people can spell it. And I do that routinely because of spelling, and because with my name being Amy, it is spelled different. So I always have to spell it out a lot. So I'm used to doing that. So no problem about that. My pleasure. Now, guess what? We've actually come to the end.
Blimey!
I know. So, Sam, thank you so much for being on our show. Do you have any final words of wisdom that you wanted to share with our viewers today?
So I just scribbled this down before, and I said, one is be true to you, and don't allow your wounds to transform you into someone you are not.
That's brilliant. That's awesome. Thank you, Sam, for being on the show. It was a pleasure. Just hang on a second. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Thank you.
So that's it, everyone. That's our show for the day. It was a pleasure to feature my friend Sam on the show. And if you want to be featured just like Sam, then reach out to me. I would love to feature you on the show to spread your message on a global scale and even further. So currently I am booking for the rest of October and into next month and even beyond. And remember that inch by inch, you can overcome any challenge that is in front of you. I do believe in you, and I know you can get through anything. Till next time, be brave, be bold, and be yourself. Bye.